I'm Jim Manning, author of Patriotism Unhinged, available worldwide through online retailers and audiobooks. Another little known factor on the day of the assassination was Ed Hoffman. Now, Ed Hoffman, he was a deaf man who also was mute, and he had driven his car over specifically to a point on the other side of the railroad tracks, so it would be looking back instead of looking at. And he had stopped there because he knew that the car was going to come up underneath the overpass. And so he was watching, and then he saw a lot of commotion. And the commotion was happening over at the wooden fence. And so he started to go toward it, and he saw that, I believe he saw some of the smoke. And then the man handed a rifle over to a man on this side of the fence, and the man walked over to a electrical station of some kind and walked off. So he wanted to convey what he saw to the FBI. So he talked to a few people there, and because he couldn't communicate with them, he went down to the FBI office. I guess they had somebody there that knew how to do that. He was offered money to just forget about it. Just forget about it. We'll give you some money. Just forget about it, He says, I couldn't help but think that I didn't want any money. I wanted to let them know what I saw. After continuing to tell people what happened, his father got very upset with him because his father thought that he might be making himself a target. So they had a little family thing there, but that's one more indication of an eyewitness who saw somebody with a gun right there.
The following video was taken from Nigel Turner's television series The Men Who Killed Kennedy, which aired from 1988 to 2003 and produced for the Central Independent Television Company UK. After airing episode 9, The Guilty Men, in November 2003, the History Channel disavowed the program and apologized to the family of Lyndon Baines Johnson for airing it.
One man who is certain he saw the men that did do it is Ed Hoffman, a deaf mute. He is interviewed here for the first time.
I'd gotten off work early because I had a dentist's appointment. I was traveling down the freeway here, and I remembered that President Kennedy was coming to visit Dallas. I parked my car here. I realized at this spot that I would be able to see Kennedy pass close by. I stood here and waited, and I was looking towards where he would be coming from. I suddenly saw two men who looked suspicious directly over there in the car park.
In 1963, these trees did not obscure the view. From his position at the side of the freeway, Ed Hoffman could clearly see the parking area behind the Grassy Knoll.
I saw a man standing here, wearing a black hat and a blue jacket. I saw a puff of smoke, and I thought it was a cigarette, but it wasn't. He had a gun, and he walked towards the railroad. He tossed the gun to the second man. Then he turned and straightened his jacket, adjusted his hat, and walked casually away. The man with the striped shirt, the railroad shirt, walked over to the electrical box with the gun. He took the gun apart. He put it in a toolbox. He then walked slowly away in the direction of the railroad track. When the motorcade passed by below me here, I realized that Kennedy had been shot. I was horrified. I saw a policeman standing on the railroad bridge, and I tried to get his attention, but he didn't see me. So I got in my car and drove to the area where I had seen the two men. But there were so many people there, and I couldn't find them. I went to the FBI to tell them what I had seen. They didn't want me to say anything. They offered me money to keep quiet. They didn't understand that it was more important for me to tell them what I had seen. It was hard for me to communicate with them. I do feel that the two men I saw were working together, and that the one with the gun behind the fence was the man who shot President Kennedy.
This is just one more eyewitness that has the truth to tell and has been closed down by your government. And one of probably hundreds of them. And let's do something about it. Please take the time to send an email to your congressman. We have some really great information that we're working on. From time to time, we'll show you retro TV. Hopefully, you'll get to understand better how they've been able to constantly cover everything up.